cooking up some chili, and I have to say I love this view out the window. There's nothing like cooking a meal and having this kind of a view. Oh, hey guys, there's some dolphins out there. Check this out. Yes. Nice. And here's the approach to Porto. There's a red lighthouse dead ahead. I'm sort of crabbing to try and maintain my my track, because then I have to make a relatively sharp left turn. But in the winter, Mark tells me that this is the area where you get this big swell, this big wave rolling in from the South American coast, and these are the ones where you see the YouTube videos of sailboats coming in and then rolling right at this entrance. We're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. Finally settled down as we get in here. It's like angry soup out there and nice and smooth here.
Yes, good evening. We've just entered the river and we're looking to refuel.
When you enter the enter of main, you will see the bus station.
Well, we are all gassed up and ready to go back offshore. This time for real, we're headed right out to the shipping lanes, and there was an Orca attack at the just around Cape St. Vincent, apparently a catamaran. So we're gonna stay offshore of all that business and get ourselves into the Mediterranean. Porto is a lovely town. We only got to see it for about 20 minutes. We did donate to the local economy with 400 euros worth of fuel. And goodbye, Porto. Yep, there goes Porto. And we are headed out again after a quick fuel stop. This is going to be our sail plan for the night, it looks like. Just a little bit of main, and then a nearly full Genoa, probably like a single reef Genoa. And we're doing 6.9 through the water, 8.5 with the current. Winds 24 on our starboard quarter. Basically what we have is 22 knot winds just off the quarters, just a very disorganized and rolly sea that's so annoying. Nothing else out here, it's just super gray. Super gray with these rolly waves coming off the backside here. You know, we're in a more of a shallow part of the North Atlantic off the Portuguese coast, and that's giving us a bigger, just a bigger swell, kind of like when you're on that Bay of Biscay shelf. I mean, it's only 32 meters deep here. I could put more head sail out. Maybe I'll try that. You know, it just puts you on your side almost. It's like crazy. There's a whole bunch of boom. You know what I mean? We're handling it better now that we have some forward speed. So we've got 22 knots of wind, and you know that really powers the boat through. It stabilizes the keel, and you can sort of just power through these waves, which is what you want to do. It's just a constant swell from the side, and the visibility is garbage. It's probably like 2 miles right now. Well, it's not rattling the dishes, so it's definitely settled down from what it was before. Just keep getting clocked by these waves. This is just hilarious. Holy crap, was this helpful. Been following on AIS an anchored tanker, and I can't see anything. It's so foggy. And the radar decided to boot up, and there she is. No doubt about it. There seriously is nothing like doing this in the dark. Just listen to the noises. It's really the whistling that is the scariest thing. You don't know what's out there. You just know that there's just a horrible sea state, and you have to trust the boat. This is what we were looking at before. There's the anchor boat here, and there's our radar signal. Having a confirmation that that the AIS is accurate, because you can't see a thing out there. It's all fog. Look at that. It's all fog. See if you can see it from the house too. The sail. It's a pretty bright light. This is just a little mini mag light. I don't know why I'm doing this. So stupid. Oh well. Well, here's our plan. We are currently motoring down around Cape St. Vincent, and we are sort of hugging the inner border of the offshore traffic zone. This is where all the big boys live, and you know, the last attack was right around here. So the word is that they don't like deep water, the orcas. So they don't like it, but they haven't been as many encounters out in the deep water. So we're going to hug that traffic zone, and then we're going to beeline it for Cape Trafalgar, which is down this way. It's about a day's sail, so it gets us closer. And all this area is a hot spot right in here, so we're going to stay inshore. So from here we're just going to trace the coastline all the way in to the straits. Well, I just looked at the calendar. This is my 20th day at sea, and well, it's not quite 20 days, because we did have a few breaks in there to stop for shelter during bad weather. And yeah, well, bad weather continues. This time at least we've got a nice fair wind and following sea. So you know, the issue is it's right on our tail, and we're really trying to hold a course. So we're gonna have to motor the next day just to stay on course and sort of just blend in with these tanker ships. But it is a gray, gloomy day, and it's not warm. I only wore shorts once this trip, and that was briefly off the coast of Portugal. Have not seen anything suspicious out here. This is very close to where the last attack was on a catamaran just 2 days ago. So we'll just keep a close eye, and not that we can do anything about it. I've got some cans of tuna fish ready. If maybe that'll distract him from our rudders, I don't know. But yeah, there's not much else I can do. We were thinking maybe drive in reverse if they start going after rudders, but I'm just hopeful that we don't see anything. And well, as luck would have it, the winds are absolutely perfect for sailing today, and Breezy's got her full dress on right now. She's got head sail and mainsail, sailing very nicely, doing 8 knots and 20 knots of wind. Broad reach. Apparent wind is 120. It's a little bit, true is a little bit more behind us. We're going to be making another 30-degree turn in a few miles, and then that'll be more on the beam. So this sail plan should work as long as the winds stay consistent. Just enjoying being out here. It's been, like I said, 20 days of living on this boat. It's a lot of time. Definitely miss my kids, and miss the dogs, and miss my wife, who's going to be visiting me in she should be here in a week, so that should be good. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice nice couple months we have down in the Mediterranean. We just need to get by this Orca alley here unscathed, and then we'll all be breathing a sigh of relief as we dart towards Palma Majorca. Looks like we got a little buddy here. You need a place to rest? Huh? Or do you need a place to shit? Not much in the way of wind. We just have a stabilizing sail up, but it is absolutely beautiful today. You can hang out. You can hang out for a little bit. Go ahead. Get some rest. This is a pretty calm sea, right? I mean, pretty flat. We just have little swells. And what you notice with this boat in particular, once we have a little train at the right period, this one will just glide right over. But the back of the boat is very, very buoyant, the back and middle. So what happens is, just as the bow is trying to come down off of the wave, the back does this and really catapults the front into the water. So I think that's, there we go. And then there's a slam. I mean, literally in the smoothest of seas, it can slam.
So the rock, 110, 115.
It's a beautiful night. Well, we had to divert from our plans to go through the Straits of Gibraltar today because the winds have continued to blow out of the straits. And we were getting beat up, so we made a hard left, and we're headed into Cadiz, Spain. Another interesting and exotic destination. So we'll see how that goes. I know it's going to go well because we are going to have probably a breakfast beer, and I'm going to shave, and yeah, get some work done on the boat. Hoisting the Spanish flag. Coming in hot. Well, we left Cadiz. 5 boats we all kind of left together, which was fun, and now we're all just sort of bombing along with the same sort of plan. I just put the mainsail up to you know, we're about 30 degrees off the wind, and if you're 30 degrees off the wind and you're motoring, then put the mainsail up, and it really reduces the slamming, and you've got an extra knot of boat speed. So this guy behind me is still just motoring, and we should walk away from him. Oh, this is essentially our direction until we get to the Cape Trafalgar, and then we'll make another gentle left turn and we'll enter the straits. Should be an exciting day. So a good little practical tip that I learned, if you're motor sailing, and which we are, and main only, and we're kind of pinching right now. The apparent wind is hanging out at that 30 mark, and that's right on the edge of sailing too, and I'm wondering, should we try it, should we not try it, you know, with the jib? And you can certainly give it a shot, but one clue is if the top of your mainsail is just luffing a little bit, that's a decent indication that your jib isn't gonna hold wind either. So I'm gonna hold off for a little bit until the wind just clocks around a little bit more and see how she goes. But so far we're making good time. We're doing about 6.5 knots. We do have a headwind, and we're just sort of carving along the coast. So we have to. I can't bear away. I have to sort of maintain this vector towards the Cape just because of shallows. And we are right outside of Cape Trafalgar. I'll zoom in on that, and lighthouse protecting it right here. And Trafalgar is famous for being the place where Lord Admiral Nelson of the British Navy defeated the Spanish. And at that time, the Spanish ruled the seas. And with that defeat, that was the start of Britain's dominance over the seas in the mid-1800s. So it all happened here, Cape Trafalgar, and we are probably floating over some of the wrecks right now. Different. We're on the lookout for Orca. There's been sightings, but no attacks here. Most of the attacks have been up north, and we're hoping we're past it, but we're in a convoy of 3 sailboats. We're all just sort of doing the same thing, moseying along. We are doing 6.5 knots and 10 knots of true wind, so that's not too bad. Here we are at the beginning of the Straits of Gibraltar. This here is the lighthouse for the town of Tarifa. So here's where we are. We are just past Tarifa. We're that black, dot in the middle of the red dots there. We're all traveling sort of together. And then there's the strait, and then there's Tangier down south. So you can see we're really hugging the coast of southern Spain. Right now it's just land, and then a few groups of homes. It's got to just be an amazing place to just hang out, watch ships and sailboats go by all day. So it doesn't get much better than this. Broad reach sailing. See, about 17 knots of wind, and we are just howling through the Straits of Gibraltar. Here we have the southern coast of Spain, and then I'll spin it around and we'll be looking at Tangiers. It's a little cloudy over there, but that's Africa. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. And up ahead we have a sort of a caravan of sailboats, and we're all just taking the inshore route to take in the sights and then get a good shot of the Rock of Gibraltar. And there she is, the Rock of Gibraltar. Something I've always wanted to see, and what's super cool about this is you can really get up close to this coastline. Super, super cool. Over here you see Tangier. It's kind of hidden behind that cloud, but all the action really is over here. This is just an amazing sight to see for the first time. And again, being with a caravan of sailboats makes it even more fun. I've always wondered, what is it that you should eat when you're passing by the Rock of Gibraltar? I'm thinking store-bought frozen pizza. It's been a beautiful day. Winds right now, just 15 knots. We're almost on a run here. We're headed right for the lighthouse. Apparently you can get very close here, so we'll get some close-in pictures. So rich in history. Apparently there's hundreds of miles of tunnel dug into this rock. So interesting little fact about the Straits of Gibraltar and the Mediterranean versus the Atlantic is the Mediterranean is actually about a meter lower than the Atlantic. So there is a predominant flow that goes across. And the warm water goes across the top, and the cold water goes along the seabed. And because of that temperature difference, it was very hard to pick up on submarine traffic if they went through the cold area. And that's where the Russian subs would go. They'd go deep into the cold area. Here's a pretty cool view passing by the rock on the south side. It's not a typical view that you see. Obviously a lighthouse, some very old walls sort of near the sea edge that have been built. And I believe that that is a tourist center on the left, just below the cranes. And then there's also a mosque with the white dome. And you don't see it, but along the left side slant, there's a big cable car that runs down. And then take a look and see how sheer the eastern side of this rock is. It goes right down into the sea, and it's actually quite deep here. Well, not super deep actually. It's 19 meters, so it's not super deep. But in any case, we were able to get very close, much closer than you can appreciate on this camera. But I'd say we're probably about 200 yards away, 250. I'll have to see it again someday when we come back out, but hopefully that won't be for a few more years.